Hello guys, this is Colatius and Latius, and for this video, I don't know how long the stories are going to take me to finish. I hope I can keep it under 25 minutes, so thank God I have a terrible memory because reading these, I don't remember shit. The rest, I'm like, you know what, maybe I can actually read it to you. So, let's go on with it. This is classified, well, I would like to classify it as a hell event because it costs 40,000 diamonds to finish. Yes, so yeah, trip without planning. I'm gonna start with my favorite boy, which is Gavin. As summer nears, you start hearing about all kinds of popular island vacation destinations. I don't know if I'm gonna do all the boys at once right now. I could try to do as much as I can muster because I should have not waited until the last day. Our company also had a travel show in the works, so I decided to investigate one of them. So I only had enough to go after the R ones. You can actually get one free R1, which would explain the tickets from the beginning. If that was the case, I would have went for Gavin. I'm sorry, Victor only. Did I say Victor or Gavin in the beginning? Oh shit, I'm confusing names. But since I had enough to distribute diamonds, I was able to afford at least the R, which is better than nothing. SSR, even getting one fucking card is 10k. Yep, but in reality, it was basically a company trip. Kiki, Willow, and the rest were all pining to go. Pinning? I think it's pinning. But I already had another candidate in mind.
Hello, what is it?
Voice acting, so yes. Victor's deep voice sounded in my ear. I heard LFG, just Edo FG, just finished a big project, so I figured he'd probably be less busy than usual. It's a little sudden, but can you get away with me to the island for a few days? This rustling paper ceased, and Victor fell silent. The only sound was his light breathing.
You're inviting me to an island? Why?
Shut up. Because we need to go check it out for a show. The budget happens to be for 2 people. Come on now. I had already anticipated he wouldn't agree right away, so I had a good reason prepared. But he wasn't convinced by it.
For work?
Work, of course. But not just work, silly. Come on, seriously, sure. Just taking it out, but it's also just a vacation.
If that's all this is, then I don't have time.
That's Victor, right? It's not just that, please. There's also... Oh, right. Our company's quarterly report came out. So I want to thank you as our biggest investor. And just personally...
Call me back when you're clear what the reason is. Bye.
Boy. Mate, I'm not finished with you, bastard. What could it be better than an island vacation in summer? And I'm handling all the details. All you had to do is just enjoy the scenery. You've been so busy lately, and I just want to spend a holiday with you.
Fine, I'll go.
And I still like this asshole. Well, I heard chapter 10 because I'm not there yet. I have to raise my level. So in this game, to advance chapters, you have to go up your company's level, which I only need 1 more to go to 9. Chapter 10 is, I guess, Victor's chapter. That's going to be interesting. That's where a lot of people changed their minds about. I can't wait to read it. In my incessant rambling, it took me a few seconds to realize that he had actually said yes. So which reason was it that got him to what?
I'll confirm my schedule and let you know.
Before I got to ask him, he'd hung up. I decided I'd ask him again when we were face to face. This was the first time we'd ever vacation. Just the 2 of us. Just like that. It was happening. Oh ho ho. Walking on the beach under So now we're reading Trip Without Planning, Night of the Ghost Stories. Walking on the beach under a star-filled sky was romantic, but something was missing. Life could always use a little something to spice things up. Our first night on the beach, I couldn't wait for Victor. I couldn't take Victor out to the pitch black water. Oh, by the way, the reason why I didn't record this much, I could have done it, was because the letters took days to unlock, so you couldn't read the whole story at once. Yep. A dark and windy night on the beach was the perfect opportunity to tell ghost stories. Victor looked at the beach and the tent nearby, then turned his gaze back to me.
This is the fun spot that you were talking about.
Yes. Yes, I rented the tent ages ago. I've even got the perfect story ready. Aw, after all, beach and tent and ghost stories were top 5 on my list of travel plans. Victor, are you afraid of ghosts?
What do you think?
No. I think I can make you scared. No. At that, Victor folded his arms, crossed his chest while arching his brows bemusedly.
We'll see about that.
Trust me, at least the translation is still a little better than Nikki's at times. After opening the bag containing the tent, the pop-up tent space started to spread itself out. I tried to stumble through the setup instructions before Victor impatiently took over for me. The blue tent barely stood out in the darkness, and the sand underneath was softer than expected. I sat in the tent and beckoned Victor to come in, please. Get in here.
Are you sure?
I couldn't see his expression clearly in the dark, but he finally bent down and squirmed inside. What was originally a roomy tent now felt inside cramped, and awkward Victor now inside. I could hear his breathing clearly, and his body heat and scent filled the enclosed space. My heartbeat sped up uncontrollably. Story of my fucking life, the heartbeat problem I've been having as of... I seemed to hear him chuckle.
If you back up any more, you'll bring the tent down.
Who, me? To break the tension, I scrambled to turn on my flashlight. Its dim glow perfect for the ghost stories. I'll go first. The evening of Seaside Ghost Stories had begun. So, how long did it take? Oh, not too bad. Okay. So, small tent in the rain. This one I clicked on and skipped because the exclamations were bothering me. I didn't look through the story. But like, you know what? I gave up. I'll just leave the exclamation. Deal with it until I read it for you guys. In a seaside town, there was a house near the shore. I tried to speak, in a low, mysterious voice, and let down my hair. Oh my god. I feel sick.
Do you think you're doing a ghost story radio play?
With a word, Victor had broken the atmosphere I had worked so hard to build up, you bastard. He sat cross-legged on the ground like me, but somehow pulled it off more elegantly. Don't talk. You're interrupting my flow.
Okay, continue.
Victor held his tongue, and I cleared my throat and continued with the tale. It was a dark and stormy night. Knock, knock. Someone was at the door. Who could it be? Calling in the middle of the night?
If it's so stormy out, how would they hear the knock?
God damn it, Victor. If you hear it noise, that's the AC. He just happened to hear it. God damn it. He looked through the peephole and saw a pair of eyes staring at him. Maybe my mind was playing tricks on me. Oh my god, that feeling. Ugh. But inside the tent, it seemed to get colder. Oof, okay, calm down, relax. I told you it's probably the time of the month thingies affecting me because I still don't have it. I know, that's what it feels like right now. The pale glow of the flashlight, the moaning wind, the shaking tent. It was all spooky. I stole a glance at my husband, though. He was listening very intently to a nonsensical story. His pinched brow betrayed his perplexity. And how strong perplexity, I've heard of that word, I don't know what it means, how strongly he was holding in his complaints. Beware the shadow behind you. Trying to scare Victor, I shivered and waved my hand behind me to check for strange creatures. Dude, I don't think anything is going to scare this man. I quietly inched toward Victor bit by bit so he wouldn't notice. A hand suddenly fell on his shoulder. Just as suddenly, a hand grabbed my wrist. I jumped straight into the air, my heart racing like it would jump out of my chest.
Why are you freaking out over nothing?
My over-the-top reaction had flustered Victor. My carefully chosen ghost story hadn't faced him. I finally got a reaction, but it didn't feel so good.
Your story didn't scare me, but you yourself sure did.
I have a feeling if anybody were to be scared from a ghost story, it could maybe be Kiro. Lucian, probably not Gavin. Maybe for her safety, not scared. You were the one who scared me. I thought for a second...
You thought it was a ghost? You're the only person I've ever seen scare herself with her own ghost story.
Rip. In the dark, Victor's warm hand brushed against mine. I realized how cold it really was.
How did you get so cold?
Oh, warm me up. A warm jacket was suddenly draped over me, and I could smell Victor's familiar scent on it.
Put this on. If you catch cold, I'm not taking care of you.
Oh, fuck you. I wrapped the jacket around myself. My body temperature and my spirits slowly recovered.
A cold front came in. Should rain soon.
As he said that, we could hear the patter of raindrops on the tent. Oh, is that wind? I think so. I scurried behind. I don't know if you can hear me though. I scurried behind Victor out of a tent and back to the hotel. Soon, a huge storm was raging. Whoa. Oh. I clutched Victor's jacket and watched the downpour from under the verdana, feeling worried. So much for camping.
We can do it again tomorrow.
Okay. No need. I shook my head and started laughing to myself. I really only wanted to try out so I'd camping for two and ghost stories. There is a lot I wanted to try out, as long as I have Victor to experience them with me. On what now? On something weird. It's always so wonderful in one's imagination. But the blazing sun, the blaring kids' music, and the packed beach all seemed to be ridiculing me. How are there so many people here? I stared in shock at the multitude of tents on the beach and the screaming kids. My head spun. Chair noise. I had intentionally picked a secluded beach, but unexpectedly ran into a huge parent-kid summer camp. Ha ha ha, you can't catch me. Pow! A sprinting young boy tripped over in front of me. Before I could react, he erupted in sobs. Oh. So this is all new because I didn't click. So exclamation marks, I don't know. But like I said, even though I read the other two stories, I don't remember shit. So it doesn't matter. I looked helplessly at Victor beside me, but he did nothing. His expression as cool as ever. The children's teacher. Oh God. Oh, stop. Okay. The teacher's came over and picked him up, soothing him in a low voice. I don't think I'm gonna get to Gavin's story right now until I calm down.
We're leaving.
Is Gavin up next on the list? We're leaving. Victor immediately turned around and left, and I hurried after him. Where are we gonna go?
You want to stay here swimming elbow to elbow with all these people?
I never imagined there'd be this many people. I had everything all planned. Aw. Thinking about how I could take care of everything, I couldn't help feeling guilty. I really didn't expect this.
Okay.
Did he say okay? I didn't hear him. His blank tone betrayed no emotion and left me thinking very uneasy. How about we go back to the hotel and relax a bit?
No need.
Then let's go shopping?
There are no shops worth going to.
I felt worse and worse, and my voice grew quieter. Then let me think. Oh? He smiled. I looked up in confusion to see Victor first held up his mouth, unable to hold back laughter. His eyes were filled with glee, clearly telling me that he was enjoying watching me squirm. My face turned crimson. Why'd you enjoy laughing at me so much?
Idiot.
Baka. What do they call him? A tsundere or something? I don't know. One of those. Still smiling, I think, right? Victor reached out his fist and tapped my forehead, not particularly softly.
That's your punishment.
Oh, thank you. Oh?
Now that you've been punished, no more blaming yourself.
Aw. Why is he being so nice today? I listened warily as he continued in the same tone.
I never had much faith that your plans would all go smoothly anyway.
Thank you. But you still agreed to come, you know. I didn't sound happy, but reminding myself that he had in fact come with me made me feel better. No, that's not too bad. His palm. So Unstoppable Crowds, his palm. Do we get a reward for this? I don't think so. It's just stories, which is actually pretty cool. So it's not like they have these, but there's stories with it too. Does this look good? I examined myself in the changing room mirror for a while before finally deciding to come out. Oh my God, stop. Okay, I don't remember if I screenshotted just that background. Victor was already outside waiting under a giant palm tree and wearing casual wear for a change. Oh, casual wear, huh? A simple cut of the clothes and the sunlight softened his usually sharp demeanor. My mood and my step lightened, and I hurried over to Victor. I'm ready. Where were you waiting?
Not too long.
I thought he changed clothes. When I got closer, I could tell Victor had been waiting tensely and relaxed visibly upon seeing me.
If you stayed in there a little longer, I would have had to send a clerk in to check on you.
If you stayed in a little longer, oh. I wasn't in there that long. I looked around as I protested and noticed quite a few young women gazing eagerly at Victor, thinking of his tense expression just then. I finally figured out why. I never thought I'd see you like this.
Don't laugh. Do I gloat over your misfortunes?
God damn. I'm not. He cocked an eyebrow and held out his hand to me. Flustered, I ended up handing him some sunscreen.
Are you thick?
Are you thick? He let out a sigh, took the sunscreen, and then took my hand with his other.
Let's go.
He almost dragged me away. His warm hand was soft, and he walked at just the right pace for me. I don't know if I read that right. I looked up at his figure, walking before me. His black hair was a little messy, not like his meticulous look at work. It swayed with his step. Why aren't you wearing a swimsuit?
Because I don't plan on swimming.
Because you need the fucking cards. That's why. But unless they change him here, I don't know. But isn't it a waste to come to the beach and not swim?
It's not a waste.
Huh? He spoke lightly, but with the usual certainty. The warm sun shone down on me, gently yet strong. Interesting. Today was the final day of our trip. Aside from the sudden storm that first day, we've been blessed with great weather ever since. Victor and I walked side to side down the beach, taking in the lingering sunset. Amidst the boats, the tourists, and the sound of wind and waves, my heart was at total peace. Oh my god, I'm about to lose my shit. I need to relax. I'm definitely reading Gavin's story couple hours later, not right now, man. Looking at the sunset on the horizon and Victor at my side, these past few days seemed like a dream, free of our roles and responsibilities. A holiday just for Victor and me. I felt like we had grown even closer, not just superficially, but something deeper than that. I turned and looked at Victor, and I finally asked that question I've been holding back. So, why'd you accept my invitation? Victor's gaze returned to my face, a little taken aback at why I was asking such a question.
You didn't want me to accept?
Of course I did. It's just at first you acted like you didn't want to go.
Balancing work and rest is very important.
Okay. Victor paused, the sea breeze teasing his bangs, and a smile flashed in his eyes.
You've been thinking about this question all along?
Yes. No, but I really want to know.
The reason's simple. It's not because of work, and it's not out of gratitude. It's because of you.
Oh. He spoke measuredly and softly, and I heard every word clearly.
Next time, don't hesitate like that. I'll always have time, if it's time spent with you.
Okay. Oh. The waves crashed, and the salty breeze carried the scent of the ocean. They say vacations are really just about breathing the air. Memories fade, but not that breath. I so wanted to freeze time in that moment. I wanted to store this scent, this man's warmth, and these feelings away in a box never to fade. Next time, let's come back together. I didn't hear his answer, but the squeeze out of his hand on my told me it was a yes. Not just this time, but every time after. Oh. And then we have something like this. You stepped on your sunglasses that fell on the ground. You bought a pair. A female version. Yeah. You put on sunglasses to be a Victor, but you were caught right away. Good choice. It's on me. Alright. So all of these stories is going to take me that long to read, huh? So here's the deal. Tomorrow's the last day. Yeah, you see. So I guess, yeah, I know SS. See, Love Nikki is expensive, but I figured this game actually costs even more because just to get one. So like, think of it as like one suit in Love Nikki. Getting one card, SSS card in this event, or I guess any event, I don't know. Excuse me. I hope there's some decently cheap ones. Is like a hell event, a cheap one. Actually, the cost of Time Palace. Like, get the fuck out of here. Because I was like, I really wanted Victor's card, man. But I'm like, that's not happening. So instead, I'm like, people posted that there's an R card version. So I'm like, I'm just going to be happy and appreciative and just get the R card. Oh, Luisian's next, actually. So it's like tomorrow. Yeah, I should be getting the rest of the R cards, but I did get Victor's first, so here it is. I know, it's so addicting to get wanting to get the cards, especially the event cards. At least I have this. So this is what he looks like. Evolve, I don't know what he looks like evolved, but that's what Google's for. So you know what? Even if you don't get all these cards, you can always save the pictures that you won't ever have in your game, right? Just obviously be careful because you're going to be stumbling upon a shit ton of spoilers. I already did. There's even one event that's like, what do you call it, like the old times, like where they have long hair, and I think there's a wedding event too, and I'm like, yeah, so at least, you know what, at least if you could find decent quality photos online, because people post them, just download them and keep them on your phone. At least you don't feel like you're missing out. No, you do, because you don't have the card in the game, but yes. A wish tree. Oh, then no, it's not the die. It's this. Fuck. What was the purpose of that? Okay, so I will see you next time, hopefully very soon, for Lucian's story.